Estoy teniendo problemas dejando esto, no se quiere quedar. No sé por qué.
Yo, what's up, man?
Welcome, y'all. I'm here having some technical complications here. I don't know why my camera won't stay still. What's up,
You'll
everybody?
find it. You'll figure it out. Or I will fire you in this spot.
I better figure it out, or I will fire myself. How about that? As our first. Come on, Bray. Don't play games with me.
I think he's doing that, man. He's just doing that right about now.
Because I was doing this last week and it was fine.
It's okay, man.
Okay, I think I had to hold it up like this for a little bit. Don't know why my camera's not agreeing with staying still. See? Got up. This is what happens when you're alive, ladies and gentlemen.
It all happens, man.
Technical
welcome everybody. Welcome.
technical difficulties at times, but we'll make it work.
Mourn the loss of a young legend.
That's
Bray
right.
Wyatt.
That's right. It broke my heart.
Unbelievable, man.
Broke my heart to get the news yesterday.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, right after you sent me the screenshot, I saw it on Triple H posted on his Twitter. I was like, oh man, it's official now.
I was hoping it was a bad joke. I was hoping it was a misunderstanding. Something. But
We were both. I was hoping it was a storyline, man, to be honest.
Honestly, that would have been cool if it would have been like a storyline where the character, Bray Wyatt, dies and comes back as a completely different character.
Yep. Just like when Randy Orton burned him, remember?
Yeah.
Came back. Crazy, man.
But unfortunately, it wasn't a storyline. It's a very real.
Yeah, it's been confirmed. It's official. Bray Wyatt has passed at the age of 36.
And that's why I'm wearing this hat today. This is like a Eater World style hat. I don't know if you can really see it that well.
Looking like Bray Wyatt yourself.
Yeah, I let my beard grow out and my hair grow out as an homage to the Wyatt family. I've always loved the Wyatt family since they debuted, so.
I remember you used to do promos every day, sending me video clips of doing promos of them.
Yeah, I recorded one video, but I have not uploaded it. I'm not sure I'm ready to upload that yet.
The one you showed me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
You know, because I also don't want to give the impression I'm trying to.
Yeah, like I usually don't do these things like I did yesterday. I showed you, posted a short, but this was shocking, man. Like, that's somebody you not expect to die, even though we all expected to die, but not in a young age.
Right. We're expected to die old.
Exactly.
And then this happens.
Old and beaten.
Yeah, after all the years of experience on this earth, isn't where we're supposed to go. But life is weird like that. And if nothing else, it teaches us to love and cherish the people we have while we still have them.
Left 4 children behind. Unbelievable.
And those 4 kids, in case of anybody watching doesn't know, WWE has set up their WWE shop where if you buy Bray Wyatt merchandise, all the proceeds will go to Bray's family. So if you can, check out WWE shop and purchase something to support JoJo, his parents, his siblings, Bo Dallas, his sister, Micah. You know, what I think is really interesting is that whole entire Rotunda family is known for being very kind people. And they have a very interesting outlook in life in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. I follow Micah, but I haven't seen any posts from her yet. And she's kind enough to reply to people, so that's nice. You
It's
know,
kind of weird how she looks like them, right?
yeah, but and they all look alike. They all look like
Crazy.
IRS. It's really interesting. They look like their papa. Um,
Man, it's just.
but yeah, all we've heard the last few hours is good things about Bray as a person, and
I was wondering because he's like he never talked about how he was in backstage. Like we never heard people complain, but there's always a story to every wrestler. Like, but guy was kind.
yeah, all people have said about him, and that's all you're really going to hear because usually when people pass anyway, they try to keep the stories as positive as possible. That's not to say that they're hiding stuff.
Yeah,
Clearly, you could tell he was somebody who cared. He could have easily made the Wyatt family just himself. He could have just been Bray Wyatt. Instead, he made two other careers. Actually, he
yeah.
made more than that because he made Alexa Bliss, took her to a different level.
She became a women's champion
Yeah,
multiple times.
we really got to see a different layer to Alexa Bliss.
A different side of her. Yeah, dark
Yeah,
side. Yeah.
yeah. And I enjoyed that character. I enjoyed that character of him with Lily. Her with Lily, I mean. Sorry, I just changed her gender. I said him. Oh, her with Lily. And then, Braun
Yeah, that
Strowman.
was kind of crazy when she was swimming on that thing. Oh my god, back and forth.
It's there's a lot of cool stuff. We got to see them live when they
Oh yes,
performed
we
here.
did.
SummerSlam Tour 2017.
No,
We
actually,
were
it was
there.
Raw 25th.
Raw 25th. I thought we saw him in 2017 too.
I think. Yeah, I think you're right. You've
Yeah,
seen both times.
we saw him take on Matt Hardy in
Yeah,
2017.
in 20. That was the Raw 25th. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
what match he was doing on the 17th. I don't remember. I know
yeah.
we saw him twice.
I got all these matches mixed up, but I know he had a
But I
match.
do I do remember because he came out. Remember? Anybody have the
Yeah,
phones?
and I have the
Yeah.
recording of his entrance, which it's cool to see on TV. But if you never saw that in
Oh my
person,
god, live man, forget about it, bro.
I had goosebumps when the lights would go out and the crowd went crazy. Catching flies. I love that
Oh
song.
yeah,
In my...
seriously, man. APC, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
Welcome everybody. How rude of me! I didn't welcome everybody to the stream today. I
To
was
a very
dealing,
different stream because we were gonna talk about the fan base, but
yeah, do
it's
with this event that just took place of the passing of Bray. We decided to just dedicate this episode to him and talk about the impact of his character because since The Undertaker and Kane, there hadn't really been characters quite like Bray in professional wrestling anymore. Rosemary in TNA. But
mm-hmm.
aside of that, WWE did not have many characters like that. So that was cool. I remember when the vignette started airing. The first one I remember seeing was May 27, 2013, where there was this one line that Luke Harper said, rest in peace to him as well, where Luke Harper said, send us someone, just don't send anyone you want back. And those type of things stayed with me.
Yeah, man.
Those promos stayed with me for a really long time.
Or who could forget that first time we saw him on the rocking chair when he introduced the Wyatt family? Oh my! We
Or
we were
or
talking about it a couple of days ago.
yeah. Or when he first debuted that they beat up Kane and they put him in the with the steps, they put the steps on him and had him trapped on the steps.
Oh my god, crazy! You
That
know what?
Ring of
You know what I
Fire
think
match.
is underrated. I think that the rivalry with the Shield was like short.
They only had one match, which
Yeah,
is really sad.
and then I felt like they had the chemistry to be one hell of a back and forth rivalry.
I really thought that was going to start a rivalry. See, my thing is that I feel they pulled the plug on the Shield a little bit too early. I feel like they could have had a full rivalry with the Wyatt family. of at least 3
At that point,
matches.
they were all over the place.
And that would have taken them up until Extreme Rules. And then they could have done the program with Evolution. And
Saludos,
then,
Santi Benítez, mi hermano, bienvenidos.
saludos, bienvenido. Bienvenido, caballero. Saludos. Gracias por acompañarnos aquí en nuestro podcast, episodio
Así
número
es,
3,
hermano.
hoy dedicado a Bray Wyatt en su fallecimiento.
Sí, mano. Luchador joven de 36 años de edad. Sufrió de un paro cardíaco o infarto.
And the thing that wasn't really known was that, we knew he wasn't active since February,
He
but
was, Mhm.
but he had contracted COVID, and that
I thought he was just injured, to be honest,
that's what I thought too. I thought it was just an injury.
because
But
they never really talked about it. Keenan Bird, what's up? Welcome to the stream, buddy.
That's one of the things I give him credit for. He kept his life private there.
Yeah,
You
very
know,
private. He was
those who
in line.
knew,
He was next in line to sorry to cut you off to face Bobby Lashley, and then he just disappeared.
hello Kenneth, welcome. Where's that? Yeah, he was, and that would have been a good one. Him versus Lashley. I think we would have enjoyed that a lot.
WrestleMania. It's crazy, man.
It's a shame that it didn't work out that way and that he never really got his flowers that he deserved from WWE. I feel like they oftentimes booked him into some really crappy situations, and they really dropped the ball on that character. It had potential to be.
I believe in 2019 or 2020, around that time, he fought Goldberg when the Fiend was just being introduced, and Goldberg beat him for the Universal title, which was not a good idea. They killed that character right there, man.
Yeah, it was. That's the easier way. That's how to kill a character 101, right?
Oh my Lord.
And it's no offense to Goldberg, right? But damn, he squashed him. And
You had a 52-year-old at the time.
And a character like Bray Wyatt is not one you squash.
Mm-mm.
You could beat him. Beating him is fine, but at least let him put up a big fight.
Exactly.
Let him look strong. Let him look tough. And that loss doesn't look bad, right? Because that's the thing about wrestling, right? Everybody talks about one loss. That wrestler is officially buried. It doesn't work like that.
Fan base.
In wrestling, you can lose. I almost feel you have to lose at some point to make it
not unbeatable.
believable, right?
Reigns is gonna end at one point.
Right. I mean,
Gunther is gonna end at one point.
I mean, we look at Roman Reigns' 3-year run, almost 3 years now, and he's barely taking any losses. And I feel like that's like I understand there's a story here, and I will say the Bloodline story has been the most fascinating story in a long time. But
3 years already, brother.
But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't help long term when you have one guy beat everybody. Because now, with the exception of, as I told you earlier, Gunther, who I think should be him or Cody, just because I feel like Cody and him finishing a story are my picks to the throne Roman. I would rather see Gunther do it, honestly. But Cody also makes a lot of sense because Cody talked about finishing his story. So,
and going back to the whole Goldberg versus the Fiend, if we're talking about late 90s Goldberg, we're talking something different. That was a vicious Goldberg. We're talking about come on, I don't want to say it like that because it's gonna sound bad, but an over the heel wrestler already. Like
past his prime.
What would you need a belt for? Like for what? You're a Hall of Famer.
I don't understand. I mean, I understand why Goldberg wanted to compete because his kid is too young to have seen him compete. So he was trying to.
Yeah, but that went for a little too long.
but I feel like he took it a little too far.
Yeah,
especially when he dethroned a red hot Bray Wyatt Fiend, and so that's sad. You know, you sacrificed your future for your past. But at the same time, I understand that that's WWE's way. Whatever, it's cool. But you're screwing with your future. And then, you wonder why so many fans complain. It's understandable. I mean, I've heard people online say, and I quote, all right, Uncle Cole, I've heard people say stuff like, what is it that I've heard them say? I even forgot. They said stuff like, this is why people stop watching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why fans of our generation have tuned off, because you're giving championships to somebody who has no business winning titles. He can win matches, that's fine, but you're putting him in the world title picture and you're sacrificing one of your young up and comers that's doing really well to, feed the ego of an older wrestler. And I say that with all due respect. I don't want him to tear me in
He ain't
half.
getting any younger.
But the truth is the truth. He's 52. He's 52 years young.
And we talk about a guy, Bray Wyatt, who has been WWE champion. Nobody remembers that. As the world leader, that championship run was bad, but that's not his fault. It wasn't my fault.
All right, calm down over there, Snitsky. And it's really sad. He had potential to.
Exactly. All
be
those
so
title
much more.
reigns, bro. Like, if you look at him, they all been screwed up.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I did enjoy was his rivalry with Daniel Bryan.
I was just gonna get to that when he joined the Wyatt family. Wow.
Yeah, that was a cool rivalry to me. The whole thing, because you had two of the hottest wrestlers at the time.
And I believe Daniel Bryan was coming back from retirement. Remember?
Yeah. He had just returned from retirement. That was
Crazy.
a good rivalry. That was pretty good, and it was probably one of the
Then he
highlights
became the champion of Earth.
Yeah.
that was
an
corny,
interesting,
bro.
But that was an interesting gimmick in of itself. Here goes the camera again.
What happened? The stand is not working? The tripod?
For some reason, the tripod isn't holding the phone
Oh.
properly. So I had to.
Así que está borracho,
Yeah. I'm trying to find the right angle, see if I'm positioning the phone incorrectly. For now, you're gonna have to
There it
watch
is.
me like that. Let's see. Se quedó.
Sí.
As long as I look
Yeah,
okay.
sí, pero
I'm a little sideways, but I need to free my
you
hands.
look like you're about to cut a promo right now.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking like I'm about to cut some weird.
But yeah, man, it's sad now. WWE is just sitting down and looking at each other. Man, we didn't use this guy. They might not talk about that, but that's bothering them right now.
That's got to be.
We didn't appreciate this man
That's got to be bothering.
for who he truly
WWE.
was, a young legend.
It's got to be bothering WWE, because if I was working backstage for WWE, I would be very upset with the way he was treated. Really, I mean, I understand too that his last run, the character was getting a little stale for people's liking.
And you know what's funny, bro? Like, he didn't really complain about anything.
No,
Man just took every role they gave him. That is the best part.
He ran with what he was given, and that I think Austin has said it. When they give you something, when they give you a gimmick or a character, you have two choices. You can either bitch or moan or complain, or you can make it work. Somebody with talent makes it work, even if you don't like it, even if it's not what you had in mind.
Even if it's not this,
and you showed them.
Mm-hmm.
You showed them that you have something to offer, because then they'll be like, man, he hated that gimmick, but he still put in the work and made it work, right? And that was the thing with Bray. He didn't hate the character, obviously, but
no,
he took what he was given, like Husky Harris. Who can forget that when he came back as Husky Harris in NXT?
2010, the Nexus. You're the with us.
or you're against us.
Allah.
Because I'm afraid I've got some bad news. And then
Interesting story, bro. None of the members of the Nexus are active in WWE.
that's true.
That's crazy, right?
None of the OG members of the Nexus are active.
Wade Barron is just sitting down, running
He's
his
on
mouth.
commentary. I think he's Slater, I believe, is in Impact.
Yeah. Hmm.
He's the only one that's doing something outside of WWE, obviously, but still,
That's crazy, man.
you know. And then the second Nexus, I don't even remember who was in that Nexus other than
Justin
Husky Harris.
Gabriel's, David
Justin
Otunga,
Gabriel, yeah. David Otunga is now the lawyer for WWE. So
Tarvis, something. I forgot his name.
Michael Tarver. Michael
Yeah, he
Tarver.
was there too.
I kind of liked him. He had an interesting look.
He had a short run though. I mean, who can forget Cryback? I mean, Ryback.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You mean Mister Mister? I hurt my ankle. Here's my sad story. And now he sits at home doing a podcast, just like you and me. That's his
And
thing now.
and it's crazy. Like I believe, if I'm correct or stand corrected, I think Bray Wyatt was the only one who became a world champion.
Out of the
I think
members of
Heath
the
Slater.
Nexus, yes.
Nah, Heath Slater. No, he did not become a world champion
No,
in TNA. Nope.
no. I don't think he's held any world titles
We're
there.
talking about some talented wrestlers in that group. It's crazy.
I have to say, Impact Wrestling is doing pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, they are.
They're
Absolutely.
doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. I need to check out the product more. It's pretty good. But yeah, today's not about that. Today's really about Bray
Bray in
and
his career
the legacy he left.
and everything he did for WWE. I don't think he won the Royal Rumble.
No, he didn't.
I know he
didn't
was
win
a
the
tag
Rumble.
team champion.
Yeah, he won the tag team titles, I believe, with Luke Harper
Yeah, and
and with
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy as well. Yes, who can forget that? The leader of worlds.
Yeah, the leader of worlds. Exactly. Wow.
Delete, delete.
Such a cool name that they had.
What a tag team they made. That was cool.
They underrated.
And I believe he's a two-time world champ.
Yeah.
Yeah, two-time, right? Thought so. So, not a bad resume. I just feel like his world title runs deserved more length.
Exactly.
Deserved more
Mastermind that he
respect.
was.
And the ultimate sign of respect is when a veteran like The Undertaker endorses you in the ring, like he did to Bray
Oh yeah,
Wyatt.
but that was the Raw.
Yeah.
The old school Raw celebration. Yeah,
Old
that was
school
cool.
Raw, yeah.
That was
And
cool.
and that should have told everybody in the back, especially the powers that be, this guy has something. When The Undertaker, the most loyal WWE superstar ever, because the man competed for WWE well over 30 years and did
Done it
not
all.
go anywhere else.
Done it all.
Did it
Except beat
all.
me. Yeah,
All right, Batista, calm down. All
Well, yeah,
right,
he done it all, man. He done it all.
the
And
streak.
another thing, that was his last actually televised match when he fought LA Knight on that fight or fright, whatever they call that match, the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
And I think that was pretty cool. I think even LA Knight himself said that that's the match that set him up. Look at him now. Yeah, they talk
yeah.
about
Now,
this man under the ring, under that ring, under Hornswoggle, and they still talk about him. It's crazy.
and it's funny because I believe LA Knight shared a story about that, about his rivalry with Bray, and about how he felt that, Bray believed in him, or well, that Bray
Hmm.
told him that he believed that he could be a megastar.
Yeah, and look at him now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and now he's there. He's the hottest thing in professional wrestling. So
We're not lying, people. It's not. I'm not saying it. The guy over here is not just saying it. It's the truth.
that
And that, my friends, is not a fact. Well,
no,
I just messed that up. I'm too excited, man.
he meant to say That, my friends, is not an insult. That is a fact of life. Yeah.
Álgame, qué berría. But yeah, man, like it was for me, for us to watch him compete twice has to be like a God given present, because those are rare talent. You don't see talent like that with that little old school mentality, the same time young on their primes and just passed away like that. It's just devastating, man.
And it's one of the things I liked about his character. He had all this mystique behind him because he, for the most part, his private life stayed private. Like we didn't even know
Absolutely.
he had heart problems until
I didn't even know that, like, until you told me yesterday.
the article came out where it was revealed that the family gave the green light to reveal his cause of death. But other than that, he was always very mysterious about his life. He kept it well under wraps.
I
You
mean,
know,
hmm
you know that
even
in
even though that's something personal, like you said, but like the man is there, right? Like, at least tell us what happened, right?
right. Give us some answers. We worry about them because you get invested in these people, and you know, you love these characters. They become a part of your day to day life. Like you said earlier, I used to cut promos every day.
Every day, remember? Facebook, everything.
I would post videos on Facebook of me imitating Bray Wyatt to the point where some people started nicknaming me Bray, calling me Bray, because I do those random promos. But you know, it's a really sad day, and sorry
Professional.
if I'm a little on the, usually I'm full of energy for these podcasts, but
Yeah, we weren't expecting to talk about this today.
this is a hard pill to swallow, and so we're trying to do a tribute to him, pay respects to a man that we both admired. We admired what he did. We admired the risk that he took with his gimmick. Not a lot of wrestlers do that today. So he's and now the $1 million question, right?
Are you ready?
No, that's not the $1 million question. But I would say the big question now: Hall of Fame, yes or no?
Oh yeah, they were talking about that. Absolutely. They might induct him this year.
I would say absolutely.
Yeah.
The man did something nobody else has ever
It's
done.
the least they could do for him now.
And I can share my personal experience on this one because his gimmick, surprisingly enough, helped me at a hard time where I was feeling kind of depressed, uh, kind of down in life. And at the time the gimmick, the vignette started airing, I was going through an ankle injury and I was sitting at home with my leg up, and I was looking through YouTube and I saw those videos and I was like, that looks kind of interesting. I'm going to check it out. So I look at it, and the whole promo just, I was captivated staring at my screen like, what am I looking at? This is cool. And I tuned in every Monday to see.
I remember those days.
And he'd come out, and it was just the coolest thing. I thought the gimmick was the coolest thing I had seen. It was just cool, and the stuff that he said, Miss Teacher Lady, that famous promo about the teacher that told him that he was gonna amount to nothing. That promo, I remember I was in tears when that promo was over, because you could hear in his voice his passion. You believed in what he was saying. You believed in the Shield, and
I
you
knew you was.
believed,
I
and you
didn't say it, but I knew he was gonna say it.
and you believed in the Wyatt family at that point. You were buying what he was selling because he did a phenomenal job with that promo. And that was the thing, how captivating each of his promos were every week.
Even in his last run, his promos were just amazing.
I will always be fascinated as to what the plan was with Uncle Howdy and Bray. And
Yeah,
I just thought that there were so many layers to his gimmick that made it interesting. The
yeah, because
Eater
he
of
kept talking about
Worlds.
somebody else, like him and him. Remember, like he kept talking about. He was not talking about the fiend. He was talking about he was fighting within himself. That was the cool of his gimmick, the last gimmick. You don't want to see that side of me. Don't push me there, and that was cool.
Well, I think I think that's why so many people love the gimmick because even though it's a gimmick, it's not really a gimmick. It's something that happens to people all the time.
Exactly,
You
fighting
know,
those demons, man.
as somebody who's dealt with depression, I still battle those demons every day. It's a daily struggle, you know,
They need to call you Mister 24/7.
because it is a 24/7 battle
Exactly.
with depression. And in a lot of ways, Uncle Howdy was kind of like that little voice that you sometimes get in your head when you have depression that tells you you're not good enough or tells you to give in to whatever thoughts you're having. So his character was so much deeper than just a character. There was a
Yeah,
lot more
his
to it.
last one was woof. Forget it.
And I was interested to see where it was gonna go, what the outcome of it was going to be. Because the whole thing was just it was so like, the
They, they,
mask was
they
cool.
were taking it to the whole. They didn't talk about it because it's not gonna happen. But they were taking it to the whole wine family thing. But this is different. Like somebody was gonna play the fiend. Somebody was
Right.
gonna play the eater of worlds. You know what I mean? The
Right.
characters of his. What was the
We're,
house? The Firefly house, wasn't it?
Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah,
We're
that one.
really glad that
They
you're
were gonna add
fine.
characters from that to
This
the actual passion.
when he made his return, the first thing we noticed was, I remember telling you, did you see that there were different people playing
Oh
the,
yeah,
the different characters?
yeah.
Mercy the Buzzard, uh,
They were
Abby the
actual wrestlers
Witch.
from NXT.
Right, there were actual people in there. Some say that Joe Gacy was one of them.
Ooh, I like that wrestler. He
And I
gets
think
compared with Bray Wyatt a lot.
and I think he would have been a perfect fit for the stable he was probably going to build. Him, I would say, what's his name? I forgot his name. From NXT too, he's on Raw now. That he don't really talk much. I forgot his name.
He's on Raw now.
That he wears gloves.
Oh, oh
I
my
forgot.
God. That's the Lester Luminous.
Yeah,
Dexter Luminous. Yeah,
Dexter Loomis. There you go.
yeah, yeah.
He would have
Yeah,
been a
he's
perfect
nuts,
fit
man.
there too. He would have been a perfect fit for that too.
That guy is crazy, bro.
Like he would have. I could see, and also Bo Dallas was playing Uncle Howdy, so that was going to be interesting, to
why,
see
why
where
does he remind me of Heidenreich, right?
I did right. Well, I actually like. He reminds me a little bit of Heidenreich, but I feel like he's a whole nother level of crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy, man.
You
When we're
know,
chasing down the mist,
he's
we
not
don't
here
want to
writing no.
sidetrack here, but that
He's
was
not
cool.
here. He's not here writing poetry.
And he's definitely not here doing anything to babies.
Right. I like what you do to babies. That segment
That
with
segment was legendary, man.
Snitsky and Heidenreich. I did right.
Both of those berserkers just breathing down each other's neck. That was
Damn.
weird too at the same time.
We've seen some weird segments with that, like the
Yeah, man.
Umaga and Kali talking to each other.
And then
The
Shane
late,
McMahon
the
trying to
late
calm
great,
them down. Oh
the
my
late
God,
great
man.
Umaga. That segment to me is funny. I still watch that sometimes, just to make
Good old
myself
days,
laugh.
man.
But yeah, it's really like heartbreaking to.
So what do you think? My question to you: what do you think? What rivalry would you love to see that I mean, Bray Wyatt would have had? Like, which one do you think we really didn't see that we deserve to see? Like with today's wrestling, like any wrestling.
That's a good question. I would have loved to have
I was
seen
not gonna
him.
say the past because it's always gonna go to the old wrestler beating the young one. Bring the shovel.
Yeah, I was thinking like I would have loved to have seen him take on the tribal chief.
Ooh,
That would
with
have
his
been
hot
interesting.
that could have happened because he was just champion. He's still champion.
I would have loved to have seen him take on Cody Rhodes.
Awesome too.
This version of Cody, because I believe they faced each other before,
Yeah, but
but that was not the
that
same
was Cody
Cody.
with the overall of 70.
Right. This is this is a different version of Cody.
Cody Rhodes
So
overall 91.
yeah.
Imagínate. Can't
So this
compare.
is nada se
I
compara.
think, bro. You know, I think I would love to see him for today's wrestling. I would love to see him face. Can't get his name right. Oh my god, can't get it. Se me olvida, mano. It'll come to me.
Who? And they're on Raw or SmackDown.
He's on Raw. Oh my god, I forgot his name, man.
And I have to think about that one.
Yeah, because I know the roster is changes drastically.
I would also love him to get. Would have loved to have seen him get a rematch with Seth Rollins,
Ooh,
because
another good match.
I feel like their match at Hell in a Cell was one of the worst, and it's
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, that match. It should have been better too, considering those two talented wrestlers. Jeez, can't
It,
believe they fell that one.
that match fell flat. I
With,
also would have loved to have seen
with
them
Dexter
take on.
Luminous, we were just talking about him.
Yeah,
I know it's not a main eventer, but just imagine those two characters having a rivalry.
that's a whole different ball game
Because
with
he was willing
promos.
to work with main eventers or even mid carders. He said it. His
He
working
just
ethics didn't matter
he
to
just
him.
liked working with people. That's all it was, really.
Just imagine those two crazy maniacs, man. Matches that
Yeah,
we will never had now.
yeah. Those are matches we won't ever get the chance to see. And you know what? I think the one thing we can take away from Bray's sudden passing is not take things for granted, because I feel like a lot of people took Bray for granted. In fact, a lot of people were criticizing his last run, saying that he
I think it
was
was great.
overthinking it, or
You
it
know,
was taking too long to get
people
somewhere.
people will always
And
talk. You know.
this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler.
All right, Mr.
Ne-
Heyman.
next week we'll get to that particular part of, in our next podcast we'll get to the fan base. But this week, we're focusing on Bray Wyatt. So any comments you guys have, anything you'd like to say, any story you'd like to share it down in the comments below. Tell us what you think. Tell us how you feel. I'm sure most of you feel like crap right now because
Yeah,
of
man.
the Bray
For
Wyatt
those of
death.
you,
His death has affected everyone. And it blows my mind how many people who have never met him were affected, and how many people posted online that they were crying when they heard the news.
it's
And I
crazy.
was I was shocked, and I'm still in shock.
We were
That
hoping for Vince McMahon to say "psych" today, but that's not gonna happen.
we were hoping that he would come out. We were hoping that
Pasé
we
ahí.
were hoping that Vince would come out like he did in 2007 when
Oh
he
my
was
God!
supposedly dead. Come out and say, this week,
That must have been one of the hardest things he did in his life, bro. Just
you know,
admit to the public.
you know what? I'm gonna say this, and this I don't know how this is gonna go over. Some people are not gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I could imagine that Vince,
A guy like Vince, bro.
when Benoit passed, the first thing Vince probably said was,
Damn it.
"Damn it, damn it, he had to die right when I was in the middle of a big storyline. Damn it, now I have to show up in public." Now and
I think, bro. Like, I'm sorry to cut you up. I think those two and the Owen Hart saying it like he really died. Those two had to be the hardest thing you ever seen in wrestling. Having
Yeah,
to do that live, like it's crazy, bro.
it's and especially the weeks leading after Benoit's death. And you know what? We'll have to talk about that too. We'll have to have a separate
It's gonna be a blast, people.
episode on that where we need to talk about this. And we have to do it subjectively, meaning we could talk about Benoit's career, and we could talk about what happened. And, you know, it's a tough subject to talk
What
about.
he did is unforgettable. We all know that, but we cannot forget and hide or try to take discredit him for who he was in that ring. There's not nobody can take that away from him.
Yeah, and that's what I've always said. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
He's
To
not
be
gonna be in the Hall of Fame after what
to
he did.
to be fair, no,
Yeah, he's not gonna be.
no.
He's not a role model. Imagine just inducting a killer.
And sure, some argue
A murderer.
some argue Jimmy Snuka shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but
Oh yeah, for what happened.
for what happened.
Yeah.
But you know,
Here he is,
but he was inducted way before all that stuff happened.
about to
So
jump out of my rooftop right now.
yeah, he's probably
Madison Square
gonna
Garden.
have. He's probably gonna end up having a match with Bray now.
Well, yeah, man. People, nobody expected this to happen, and this is gonna go on for weeks. I'm telling you, this is a death that nobody was expecting.
And it's gonna take a while to recover from it. It's weird, right? Because and I was saying this yesterday. It's weird that people they get so touched by the people and the characters that they see on television or the musicians that they look up to that we cry and mourn them like their family.
Yeah, man. It's
It tells you it tells you the reach these people have, right? The reach that Bray had. And like I was saying earlier, his character absolutely was a huge turning point for me. I've gone through periods in my life where my anxiety, my depression takes over.
mhm.
I still deal with it rarely, not anymore, as much as I used to, but it's still a very present part of my life, right? And I think I take things a lot harder than I need to in many cases.
Even though you're older now, it's supposed to be the other way around.
Right,
Yeah,
but it's
you
all
have
part
to.
of it. Like all the time, I screw up on something and I'll feel bad about it for a day or two, and I'll start beating myself up, you know. Um, and now when Bray died, for a while that was just hitting me. It hits you about your own mortality.
Yeah,
Like yesterday,
that's
for a minute,
exactly what I thought, bro.
I yesterday I sat here, looked at my family, and thought, one day,
This could be us. Yeah.
one day, that'll be us, right?
Lo mismito pensé yo. Same thing I thought about it.
And it's and we forget that. We forget that that's the one thing we're all gonna go through someday, and we take life for granted. And so when these things happen, it reminds you not to take life for granted, but instead,
I thought you was gonna say the other thing. You know.
just who the hell we are. Since you brought it up, right? Since you brought it up, I had to.
But no, you're so true about that. You're so true about that. People really think that we are born to just live forever, and it's not like that. One day you wake up, you're not even here.
That's
Like you
true.
said, you got to take the things that you got. You might not be rich, but hey, my family's alive. We're working. We're making money.
I like telling people,
We see our loved ones.
people that I love telling them I love you after things like this. Because I recently lost a friend a year
Or for
ago.
if you're Vince, like, I love making money out of you.
I love, I lost a friend a year ago to COVID,
Oh
and
yeah, you told me about that.
a couple days before she passed, I got a chance to message with her, and I got to tell her I love you. And a couple days later, she passed. And even though it hit me really hard, a friendship of well over 15 years,
Damn.
um, you know, I had some peace because she left knowing that she was loved, right? And that gives me peace. And that's my thing. If I ever go, and I can't say if, when I go, because
Yeah.
we know we're all gonna go, you know,
One
I
day.
hope I hope that those people that stay behind do realize that I do love them. Sometimes I admit I don't do the best job of showing it.
Me too. I'm the same way.
Sometimes I try, but I feel like I could do better. Much like in everything else in life. And I think these type of things teach us just that. I think we need to.
And especially for the famous people, like that they think that they can't get sick. Listen, you could have all the money in the world, like I know you could buy, you could fly, you could profile, the rest.
Somebody in a group that I'm a part of said something very interesting. He said we live every single day, and we don't think about our mortality. We don't
Yeah.
think about that every day could be our last day here, right? We often just take for granted the people we have around us, and that the death of Bray Wyatt reminded him how important not only is it to acknowledge the people we love, but
Mm-hmm.
but also take care of ourselves. He was saying that it was important for us to check ourselves, check our hearts for heart conditions. Some heart conditions show no symptoms.
No.
And the
In
thing
general.
is, what happened to Bray also shows the effects of COVID.
Yeah. But the whole thing was COVID related, or he had heart problems in the past.
Well, from what I've heard, he had some kind of heart issue that was made more complicated after COVID,
Oh wow.
and it goes back to
And he was
my
wrestling like that. That's
my
crazy.
my experience with COVID. I had it last year.
Yeah.
Was that it I've always had asthma, but my asthma was always under control up until after COVID. Then it started to flare up again, and I didn't notice the little details until I would go out for a walk, and within a minute I was already out of breath, and that's when I realized I was having issues. And when I went to the doctor, they told me COVID tends to do that. It's a side effect of COVID. So COVID has done a lot of damage to a lot of people. And now it took a bright star from us. It
Mm-hmm.
contributed to his untimely passing. And my heart goes out to IRS, to JoJo, to his kids, his sister, his brother, his family, everybody in his family. My thoughts and prayers go out to them in this difficult time. And I hope that the love and support that Bray's receiving somehow works as a positive builder for.
And he reminds, like you said, everybody, tell your mother you love her, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, your nephew, your grandfathers, your uncles, your aunts. You have to take life for granted. Thank every day you're alive. I do that myself. Every day you
Yeah,
wake up alive, it's a new day. You thank God because just like that, man.
I
Remember when
went.
John Cena?
Yeah,
All I need is one, two, three. But Ojo
and
Sasai is he.
it's funny, right? Because I do that every day too when I wake up. I'm thankful for the things and the
Yeah, for the
people
things
I
you have,
have.
even if you're not rich, you're still
You
here.
know, and I feel like people take it for granted because people think it's all about the money. But the thing is, there's so much more to be happy about and to consider. Right? We're alive. We can see. We can hear. We can walk. We can talk. We got to see another day.
Yeah,
We have a roof over our
we got
heads.
to live another year.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so, you know, and I feel like, this podcast today will probably be a little shorter than usual just because,
Yeah,
you know, there's
right
not,
around the 1 hour mark, we will end it.
yeah, because to be honest, there's not a lot that can be said that hasn't already been said about Bray. All we can say from the bottom of our hearts is thank you, Bray. Thank you for the memories, for the great times that you gave us, for the hope and the love that you gave us through your in-ring competition, your in-ring days. And may God bless your family. And wherever you are, may you find peace. Thank you for creating something unique and special for us to always remember. For the years of entertainment, we're grateful that we got to live through the era of Bray Wyatt.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely, brother. Well said.
And don't know what else to say. It's been a rough 24 hours since the news broke out.
Internet.
And
Let's see
and
what happens to them on SmackDown. Let's see what they're gonna do.
well, I'm hearing that whatever plans they had for tonight were scratched. So they're probably going to do a tribute show. And
I heard that
yeah,
Strowman is in the building too.
well, it'll be cool. It'd be nice if they brought back Eric Rowan for one night.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I just got goosebumps by you mentioning that.
The sole member, well, not really, but he's the sole original member of the
Yeah,
Wyatt family. Hard to believe that out
yeah,
of the
because
other.
Braun Strowman was the last one, the black
Yeah,
sheep, literally the
yep,
black sheep.
yep. He was the black sheep. He joined, what, like a year or so later, 2 years
Yeah,
later?
he was actually brought in this beast of a man
I
came to our
remember
televisions.
I remember laughing because he has the face of a baby, and with
When he
all that
shaves.
beard, yeah, and with all that beard, it looked like they had put a beard on a child, and that's what came out of the mask. I remember it was funny, but yeah,
One
I'm
legendary wrestling family that doesn't get the credit it deserves. They mourning a great legend today, young legend, man. That family is good too.
that's true. Many people don't talk about like Black Jack Mulligan, IRS.
None of them.
You
The
know,
Watuna family is like,
yeah, that's right. The Rotunda family is legendary. And like I said, my thoughts and prayers go out to them. My love to IRS, to Micah, to all of them. Bo Dallas, JoJo, his 4 kids.
yeah, 4 kids, man. Wow,
It's unbelievable, man. But that's
younger than us.
that's
Crazy.
right. That's right.
That is crazy, man. And like
But
I said, people, like every day you wake up, you thank God. You get on your knees. You pray for your family, for your husband, for your wife, for your friends. Every day we're on this earth. Como dicen en español, estamos prestados.
yeah, we're here temporarily.
Yep.
Basically, we're being borrowed, right? And these podcasts will live long after we're
And
gone.
these little things, like, well, not little things, these things that happen is a reminder, like you said, that we could just not wake up ever again.
Yeah, like every night we go to
And
bed,
it's
we
crazy. We
expect to
don't. I
wake
don't.
up.
We don't even think about that day, but that day could be sooner than we expected. Look at this man, for example.
Yeah.
Money, fame, beautiful wife, kids, famous family, tragically passed away at the age of 36.
Brian Pillman,
Unbelievable.
Brian Pillman, Eddie Guerrero.
How old's Brian Pillman? I forgot. Was he
I think he was
33 right now?
30. I'm not
I know he was
sure.
in his 30s.
He was in his 30s already.
Yeah.
Owen was 35,
Wow.
and Eddie was 38. So still relatively young.
I think Benoit was 40, right? But that's a different story. I know.
Yeah. Ben was. I mean, it's still a very sad story because he dealt with mental health issues. That much is clear.
Speaking on your family, that's crazy.
As
Like
messed
we're
up.
not gonna talk about that now because we're gonna have a whole podcast just for that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all of
We're
that.
gonna break it down,
If it's
like break it
something
down.
if it's something that can be discussed, we're gonna have it right here on this podcast. So stay tuned. We're here every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central,
There you go.
1 p.m. for Pacific time. So check your
It's the
local
clockwise over
listings.
there.
Every Friday we're here. We're here.
And Bray Wyatt, whatever you are, man, you will never forget that wrestler. That was truly like RVD's song, one of a kind, bro. Seriously, this man wrote his own promos,
Absolutely.
made his
And
own gimmicks. Unbelievable.
had all this creative. You know what? He was sometimes his own worst enemy. Many people said that, right? He had such creativity that it was hard to comprehend for some people. Some people didn't understand why he was taking so long with the Uncle Howdy character. But
And
you
how
have to
smart he was.
understand. You have to understand that it's a process, and usually with Bray, there's a big payoff at the end if you're patient with the story and if you follow it. And I understand people are impatient, and we'll get to the fans next week. But
Oh
you
yeah.
know
I'm gonna
that
change the whole thing. I'm gonna change the thumbnail of this, everything. Next
yeah.
week, we're gonna break those fans down. So we're gonna leave them with the
So
little
if you're
footage of his picture. Rolling there. Thank everybody who stopped by. Remembering the late Bray Wyatt. May his soul rest in peace. He will never be forgotten, man.
run.
Peace, y'all.